Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Michael Wilkes, Olathe City Manager. Today we're going to do our third in a series of 3 budget videos. We've talked about the general fund, which is our largest fund and provides the services for most all of our citizens. We've also talked about our fee-supported funds, and today we're going to talk about our 2015 to 2019 capital improvement plan. This is really where we spend all of the money on all the what we call our capital projects, the things that build infrastructure. I talked a lot in the general fund budget about stewardship and on the 20-mile march and how the council wants to make sure that we maintain the assets that we have. Well, this is the place that we do most of that work of maintaining those assets. Our CIP totally, you see from the slide that's in front of you, our 2014, our CIP is done in 5-year segments. And the current CIP, the 2014 to 2018 adopted CIP, was $180.9 million. That's a lot of money that we spend on infrastructure, whether that's roads, water lines, sewer lines, stormwater projects, all those kind of things that we do. In our 2015 to 2019 proposed CIP, it's $250.6 million, a 38.5% increase in our CIP, most of that having to do with water and sewer projects, and we'll talk about those a little bit more detail as we go along. First of all, we have our general fund projects. So these are the projects that we do with general obligation debt or cash out of the general fund. And on your screen now is a list of all the current projects that are going forward. In other words, these are projects that the council has already approved and they just continue to march forward, and it shows the 5-year window and how much money is going to be spent in each one of those years. So you see street preservation, street reconstruction, bridge repair. We do have 127th Black Bob to Flum, which is going to be coming to a finish here in 2014 hopefully, and then bonded in 2015. And then a couple other projects, one of the big ones, 2 big ones, 143rd Street Flum to Quivira, which we'll do in partnership with Overland Park, and we'll get to that project I think in 2016. It'll get bonded in 2018. One of the things that, just to explain to you, the numbers in the years and these charts really show you the year that we bond the project. And we bond the project basically when the project is completed. So anyway, these are all projects that are currently funded and currently going forward. The next chart, which you'll see, are the proposed new projects in general obligation bond funding. So these are the things that the staff is proposing that we add to. There's a couple of things I'd just point out. Geometric improvement at 151st and Merlin, which gives us additional capacity at that intersection. We do have for the first time in many years, are funding some sidewalk construction for kind of what we call missing link sidewalks, where particularly as it relates to walking to school, kids getting to school, and so we're putting some money in there for that to try to deal with those. The other big project in this proposed CIP would be College Boulevard, continuing or completing the 4-lane construction of College Boulevard between Lone Elm and Woodland Road, and that's the other really big project funded or proposed in the general obligation debt fund. Probably the largest increase of all of our funding is in our 2015 proposed street maintenance sales tax fund. As you recall, the voters did approve late last year a 3/8 cent sales tax for street rehabilitation. So we're almost doubling between 2013 and 2015 the amount of money, almost tripling the amount of money we're spending on street rehab. Our 2014 amended budget was at $5 million. Our 2015 proposed is $8.6 million, a 72% increase in what we're going to be doing. The slide that's up now shows you kind of what we're going to be doing over in 2015 in terms of the program. 25 lane miles of arterial mill and overlay, that's our arterial streets, our main streets, the quarter lines, the section line streets. 40 lane miles of local and collector. That's really where you're going to see a lot of the emphasis in this program, is in the local and collector streets, which haven't had near as much work done in years past. 75 surface treatment lane miles, and 250 lane miles of crack sealing, which really protects and lengthens the life of our roads. And then finally 5,000 linear feet of curb replacement. So a lot of effort going into our street rehabilitation program for next year. The next slide that's up on your screen is a pretty busy slide, but this really shows our proposed projects for our water and sewer CIP. They're kind of broken down into several different segments. You see on the bottom of your slide, the lighter color green are maintenance projects. These are projects that have to get done just to continue to maintain the infrastructure in water and sewer. Blue things are capacity. Most of those you see at the very top, and really that has to do with building a 5th collector well up at the Kansas River. We currently have 4 collector wells, and at some point in time we are going to have to build a 5th collector well and have a transmission line down to our treatment plant to add our capacity for water. So most of those are up at the top, and you see very, very expensive projects in water and sewer to make that kind of stuff happen. So we of course want to put that off as long as we can, but continue to be able to provide water at the rate everybody needs it. And then finally, the darker green, those are both maintenance and capacity type issues. The black lines in the middle, the section in between those 2 black lines, that all has to do with work that has to get done at our water plant 2, what we call water plant 2, which is up in Lenexa. That's where we treat most of the water that comes in from our wells and from the Kansas River. And we do have some maintenance that has to be done, all going back to the council's priorities for maintaining the infrastructure that we have. So that's our proposed water and sewer CIP. Stormwater, as if you saw our second video, really everything that we do in our stormwater fund, we collect a fee for it. All that money is put right back into fixing drainage issues, flooding issues in the community. We do have one project, if you look at the slide up, that's called Stormwater Improvement Projects. This is where we put the bulk of our fund balance money, and we do studies, engineering studies that tell us what projects need to be done across the city to deal with flooding, and then we basically fund the projects out of there. So you'll see Little Cedar Creek, Indian Creek, Mill Creek, and East Sheridan and South Winterbrook were all projects that were identified and that are being funded as we go forward. Solid waste, we really only have 2 projects in the solid waste fund. One is a transfer station maintenance plan. We currently maintain and own a transfer station where we bring all the trash in and then it gets hauled out to just north of Lawrence with a company we have a contractual relationship with called HAM. That's coming to a conclusion in 2015, and we are in the process right now of rebidding that service. We do know that transfer station is about 20 years old and will need some improvements and some enhancements. So one of the projects is to do that, and then the second project is we're converting all of our solid waste trucks from diesel and gasoline to compressed natural gas, and we believe that will save us money in the long haul. And we are building a CNG, a compressed natural gas filling station there on our premises. Finally is our park sales tax projects. This is the final phase of our current park sales tax. We have about $1.4 million left to spend in 2015. And those are proposed to, if you look at the slide, some of that money is going to go to Lone Elm Park Phase 2. The rest of that money is still undesignated and will be designated by the council as we go forward through 2014 for specific projects. So thanks again for joining me today. This is your money, it's your budget, it's your community, but I encourage you, if you want more information, please go to our website at www.olathes.org. If you have questions on the budget or how we're spending money, please contact either our budget office or our city manager's office. We'll be happy to talk to you, answer any questions that you might have. Thanks for watching our videos, and thanks for getting involved, and thanks for making this a great community.